Borg McEnroe is directed by Janus Metz and it stars Sverrir, Gudnason, I hope I pronounced that right, and Shia LaBeouf. This is about the 1980 Wimbledon finals between Bjorn Borg and John McEnroe, as we follow the two rivals and the perception society had of them, their strategy and their training methods. So as someone who doesn't like tennis at all, I went into this movie not really caring that much, forgetting that I did not care about Formula 1, and I absolutely love Rush to death. And what I really loved about this film is that it's not about the competition, but the competitors. It's about them as characters, as people, as athletes, their love for the sport, and how they go about loving the sport. Sverrir Gudnason, I hope I pronounced that right again, he's excellent in this film. He has this very focused mentality where he's focused on one thing, he does everything the exact same way every year in every competition, he always checks his breathing, his muscles, he always checks his tennis rackets, he checks everything to a T to make sure everything's perfect. If one cord of the tennis racket is a millimeter to the side, he won't play with that racket, and I really like getting to know the character that well. We have flashback scenes here and there, but in this film they are very well executed and they feel absolutely essential, especially when you get to the relationship he had with his trainer, played by Stellan Skarsgård, who almost stole the movie for me. And Shia LaBeouf as John McEnroe is also damn fantastic. You get to know this guy, and throughout most of the film he's an absolute asshole, and just like the people at the time, you really feel like you love Borg but you hate McEnroe. But as you start to see the two characters develop, especially with those essential flashback scenes, you really start to see how they mirror each other and how they contrast each other at different points in their lives. While one guy is very methodical, very focused, another guy is very explosive and very volatile, and you start to see that Bjorg was once like that when he was a kid, and then you realize, yeah, holy shit, the guy is a kid. McEnroe is just trying to prove himself. Ultimately, what they're both here to do is completely different, and that gives a lot of gravitas to the film and a lot of layers to both characters. Borg especially runs on a fear and a sentiment that I think we can all relate to, that while he is loved by society, he's going at his 5th straight championship. He doesn't like the fame, he doesn't like the celebrity that it brings, he doesn't like that people love him so much, because he knows that if he loses this, yeah, Borg is shit, and that's what people are going to think. While McEnroe, especially being a kid, he has always had to prove himself in life, and here he has to prove himself once again, because he is good. He knows he's good. He got to this point because he is good, but still, he is number 2. That's what people refer to him as. He is always number 2 behind Borg. And so you have strong motivations for both characters to try and accomplish what they're here to accomplish. The directing is also great. You have some beautiful shots in this film that really seem like paintings, especially when you get to the most focused character scenes, when they're trying to develop, when the movie calms down and is mostly silent and you just see these guys trying to concentrate on how they go about the games. And the cinematography is excellent, just like Rush, to compare it again in a good way. The film really makes you feel like you're in the 70s with its use of colors, and the sets are very well done. The hairs, the makeup, everything is excellent, really making you feel like you're in those years with these characters. I do have 2 minor flaws with the film. The pacing kind of dwindles here and there are a couple of scenes that I can point out that, despite showcasing the talent in acting and directing of the characters and the director, they do seem like they were there to accomplish what ultimately was the same thing. But ultimately the movie makes you feel for both these characters, makes you like them and understand them and relate to the very different motivations that they have. It's intense, well constructed as a narrative, and as a whole these two shine as stars by the end, especially when you have those pictures and phrasings below when the movie ends. And because of that, I will absolutely say that Borg McEnroe is a collector's item. What did you think of Borg McEnroe, my beautiful geekies? And is that a sports rivalry that you want to see made into a fictional film? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You guys are the freaking best. We are growing so fast these days, and it really allows me to have opportunities that I didn't have before, especially being from a small country in which I'm basically the only guy doing what I do. You guys truly are the best. I can never thank you enough. Tomorrow I'll have a spoilers review for Thor Ragnarok. On Sunday, a review for Attack of the Clones. Can't wait to see you there, and so until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so you can be geeky. United!